Hi, Gary here. You know, about 25 years ago, I saw this experiment where I basically took two groups of people and had them trace inside two stars between two lines with a mirror, meaning they're seeing everything backwards in the wrong direction. And of course, they look like a bunch of 2-year-olds. The lines were all over the place, and it took them 3 or 4 minutes to get around the whole star. And then they sent one group off to play basketball for about an hour, and the other group just kept working really, really hard at it for the whole time period. So the other group comes back after playing an hour of basketball, and they put those embedded stars in front of them again, and they're starting to draw, and they do it in like 30 seconds perfectly. And you guys say to yourself, well, how could that be? They just did it once and they went off. Well, it's one of those things where our brain works on stuff and does things while we're doing other activities. And we kind of know that happens, but that just gives you a great insight into how our brain operates. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, I'd read a book a few years ago by a fellow named Matthew May, and it's called The Laws of Subtraction. And this is around 2013 the book came out. And his 6th law is doing something isn't always better than doing nothing. And he talks about how when you look at these prolonged alpha waves that we have in our brain just before an aha moment, hits us on something. So let's say as an example, I can't remember who the lead male actor is in the movie As Good as It Gets, and I say, I think I'll remember that, and then maybe 15 minutes later I go, Jack Nicholson, it pops in my brain. So we know the brain does these things, and Matthew May is basically saying, why don't you take that ability of your brain to do that and do nothing, and go out there and do things that do nothing to bring about this long alpha waves and this great creativity that will take place for you. And so what are those things? Well, it's a couple different areas. First is meditation. Most of you have heard about that, and if you're able to do that, it's really great to help you get to that place where you can have that really good creativity. Then there's neural feedback, and this is really the EEGs, measuring EEGs in your brain, and kind of using that technology to kind of train your brain to get better at that kind of a feedback. Pulsing is when you take time off during the day to go for a walk or take a nap or a shower or just do nothing, sit around and daydream. There's also a retreat where you might go off for a week or 2 weeks or 3, just doing nothing and letting your brain kind of sit there and do something totally different than before. Same with long travel, and then no real scientific proof, but just long languid showers helps out. So why is this important? It's important because, especially for business people, working really, really hard without breaks and really not getting anywhere and really kind of going backwards and getting lower confidence and getting frustrated. And many times it's better just to take a break, do some of these things. And we know that the brain will have those aha moments. It'll have those things where it's really creative when we're doing nothing. It's not as creative when we're really heavily doing something. Seems counterintuitive, but we know that that's the way our brains work. It's just a good thing to remind ourselves of when we're getting too much into doing too much and too many things and just backing off and doing nothing. Now, talking about doing nothing, well, I do want you to consider doing something. That is doing a little spring cleaning to come down next Saturday. That's June 4th between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock in our parking lot. We have our spring cleaning barbecue. And you can drop off your old clothing or anything else but charity, old electronics. You can bring in all your paperwork you want to get shredded. And you can have a little bit of food and fun and help make your life a little simpler by maybe doing nothing by cleaning things up and bringing them here. So, hope to see you then. Until next time, enjoy.